Good morning, YouTube. I'm carrying on with my junk journaling. I haven't got around to doing my other quilt panel yet. I had some eBay orders to drop off, so that kind of took up the morning. So I'm just carrying on this afternoon. I don't know if it's too bright, actually. I might have to put the blind down. It's not sunny, but it's quite bright. I'll see how it goes anyway. Yeah, so I'm getting on. So let me angle the camera down and I'll show you where I've got to. Tea, of course. Make sure you're straight. There we are. Okay. Right, let me show you where I've got to. Put those there. So I decided to, that music sheet that I did, that I showed you yesterday, was still wet, so that's that there. I decided to put that as the opening page for the journal. I was fussy cut out a bird last night. This isn't going to stay, well, I don't know, it might. I've got plans to make some long tags, which I've cut out. I found some pages in that gardening book with delphiniums, so I thought they'd look quite nice. Yeah, so I'm going to back those with some coffee dyed paper. So I just put on some, it's like a dyed tissue paper. Well, yeah, sort of stuff anyway. Coffee dyed paint, tea and coffee dyed. Put the bird there, put his Latin name, or his proper, yes, Latin name is on there as well. Yeah, I was quickly looking. This is still wet, that's why it's so wrinkly. But that was kind of the inside of the music page, which was a little bit too much for me, so I did cover it in, again, another piece of this, which is just tea stained. That will remain like that. They're quite nifty to use, these little ones. It really makes you think. I did some stamping. It's a very bad stamp there, but you know. I found some stickers in the blues. That's the colouring book. That's the little bird. I'll just get that a bit closer for you. Little bird on the graph paper. Like I say, I don't like to over decorate too much. I think, you know, the person that actually gets the journal wants to do that. So just some more stamped images there. That's that little paper bag I made the tag for. I popped that one, or the, you know, the tag pocket. So I've popped that one in there. Bit of ruffled fabric here, the lace. I think I showed you that yesterday, actually. That's the inside. I kept the plant book page in there because I love that. And I'm just going to leave that because, you know, I figure you could stick photos on there, and actually they would probably look quite nice mounted on there. I found a sticker with a swallow, so I popped that on there. Again, lots of space. I'm in these big tags I'm making now. That's going to go in there, and here comes the sun to blind everybody. Bear with me. Like I say, it is lovely having a south-facing room, but when that sun comes out, A, it cooks me, and B, you can't see a thing. So I stuck a big flower down there, and I backed. I told you yesterday, Creations by Cece did these. I don't think it was. She did these ones where you have a gel printed paper, and then you just literally, with a big brush, just make swirls. And then when that's all dry, you then just go in and very lightly swirl with a white. And when you cut them out, they look like little roses. It is so clever. That was Creations by Cece, I'm sure it was. And it's Cece is spelt C-E-E-C-E-E. So you can easily find her on YouTube. She's very popular watercolour artist. So that's those. So I'm just going to leave those as flip out pages. That's that big book page in the middle, which I'm just going to leave because I think that's lovely for the inside of a journal. Very pretty. Again, you know, whoever buys it, if anybody does, can stick photos, words, you know, journaling. They can stick their own paper in there. It's not a problem. They might just want to leave it as is. Yeah, again, that's just that. I've left that, again, journaling space. That's the other side of the envelope. I did just use a paper clip. I really just think that's going to be so much easier to use then. So so I showed you that yesterday. Again, I'm in the process of making some long tags, so that will one will go in there. Bear with me, it's all falling apart. The other half of the gardening book page, I did cover that over because there was a little bit too much text there just for my liking, so I just put on a piece of my coffee dyed paper and some dyed tissue papery book thing. It's like a little duplicate book or something. I think I picked up in a local stationer's. Very thin paper, but it's ideal for this kind of thing. So the other side of that little bag, paper bag, a little tag in there. I put a paper clip in there, and in here, bear with me, I found some flashcards. So I just fussy cut one of the birds out last night, stuck it on there, and I backed it again with that duplicate book dyed paper stuff. So it's sticking out a bit, but I think that's okay. I mean, it's not sticking out beyond the book, so that's fine. Just gives you a hint. And then found a blue paper clip and just put some fluffy stuff on it, so that's fine. I don't know if you can see it there. I say minimal stamping, just a little bit of decoration on each page. That's the other half of the colouring book. More stamping. Found a blue flower sticker. That one there. I forgot to do that. I've got, as I say, the tab top thing, so I need to pop one on there so that sort of shows you there's a journaling spot there. Not that you would miss it, I don't think. So on the last page, which is the opposite of the music page there, I finished the big... Oh, did I? No, I didn't stick... Oh, yes, I did. No, I didn't. No, I need to stick my papers in. Right, let's do that now. Yeah, so I did the big... I'm just going to stick it in with some glue. If I can get the lid off. It's not going to need much. It's quite a lightweight little pad of paper. Pop the glue back in its little jar. Pop that there. Make sure it closes. I'm not going to decorate it. I really just don't think it needs it. I'll just take that out for a minute. So again, there was so much music here. I mean, it was too blue as well, actually. So I took a page out of the gardening book and just stuck that on there. I know it's pink, but it kind of shows up the giant tag here. Another one of those big flowers. Did a very simple sort of snippety trim here with a bit of lace and some of those threads that came off my quilt. So I'll just pop that back in there. Now that's stuck, that's yeah, that'll be fine. That's that. And then again, I've got 3 long tags to make, and one's got to go in here. On another, those flashcards, I fussy cut those last night, and on the back it says birds. So I'm just going to pop that in there like that. So once the tag's in there, that'll be fine. So you just see their little heads poking out. Hello. Right. Okay. So I'm going to make that do because it's becoming a bit of a chunky monkey already. So once that's sewn into the journal, I think that'll be sufficient. You can overload these too much. So I'm just going to show you. I found the rest of the Creations by CC Flowers that I did. As I say, you just... Not that one, that's a stamped one. You just have your... I mean, there can be, you know, your really bad gel printed pages as well. I mean, these were quite dark and grungy. So, I say with a lighter paint, you just go round and round and round in circles and kind of make like little flowers. And then with the white, you just sort of skip like that sort of thing. And then literally you're doing that with a paintbrush. Let it all dry, and then you do kind of see the flowers actually, and then just cut them out, sort of wibbly wobbly around the edges. They do not have to be perfect, you know, because once they're layered up, They actually look quite nice. So that's those there. I think I did make some and put them in the shop. Can't remember. I must remember to talk a little bit louder because I know on my last video I was quite quiet actually in points, so that's because the camera's further away now. That's a lighter gel print that I had, and then I did the same thing again, so, and the same as that. I say they don't look much, but you know, when they're on they actually look really good. And with those ones, I think I just cut those out of scrapbook paper and bits of odd bits that I had. But you do have to, you can see on the back how much you have to scrunch them. And the scrunchier they get, you know, the better they are actually. And then just a simple brad through the middle. Those are the pearl top brads. So, yeah, so found those. So they can go back in their box now to sit there forever. Who knows? So, yeah, I need to do these big tags. Where did you come from? You were in the flowers there. The scarlet rumped tanager. So that must be one of the birds I've got over there. I fussy cut a load out, but I think that book has got so much in it now. I just don't. I don't feel like putting any more in it, to be honest. So I'll just turn those into separate pieces of ephemera that I will just pop on Etsy separately. I found this as well. This is food colouring, I think I did these with. But what was interesting is the food colouring was that blue, but the colours split. Sorry, I get some funky lights off my blinds. The colour split into pink and blue, which is very odd because I wanted blue. But you know, you get what you get when you're doing the old colour dye. That was the pink, obviously. But yeah, I mean, some of them actually went, well, blue and yellow on there. So I guess the inks that I used to dye the papers with just literally split, I suppose. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting the way it went. So my pretty coloured papers and my really badly dyed coffee paper. And what's in the middle there? Oh, photocopied papers. Yeah, so actually I've just spied something that might go really well. Held the phone. Where was it? I saw butterflies. Where were you? Blue butterflies. That looks like I was just spraying stuff. But I keep all these because, you know, they, in my crazy world, they look good. So I can't find them things now for looking. There's a bit more successful coffee dyed paper there. I can kind of do it. I think that was sprayed on, and I think I like that better. Actually, I'll keep that one out. That's much nicer. Right, where are you? I saw you. Yeah, there you are. Is that the right blue? Could be, couldn't it? Do I want to use it or don't I? It's got a very faint on the back there. No, I think I'll stick with the coffee dye. Make a decision and stick to it, Susan. Come on. Right. Okay. If anybody sees the lid to my Yoo-Hoo glue, can you let me know? Because I'll be darned if I can find it. It's here somewhere, I know, but I've looked everywhere. Unless the cat's had it, I suppose. I don't know. Right. Oh, the Space Invader's asleep downstairs, by the way, so we're safe. We're all right. Oh, let me show you this before I get on with this, because I'll just drift off. I was halfway making this a couple of videos ago. I did decide to put the paisley print on the outside because it's flipping gorgeous. This is the box where I sewed it right sides together and turned it through, so it did end up quite small. That's okay. It could be reversible, I'll be honest with you. I could easily pop it the other way around if I wanted to, but I don't. I like that. And what I did on the edges, because I said I was going to hand sew it, I sort of did a crisscross lace up on the edges, which is very pretty. So I keep that downstairs. I'm doing because I don't do enough. I've got some English paper piecing going on downstairs, and I've got some Diddy hexes that I want to keep in there, so I'll take that back down. Let's pop it there. Another thing, as I say, before I get into it, because I will forget otherwise, piece of paper, I keep any stamps that I use for junk journaling. I keep them in like a plastic wallet, and they are labelled, those there. I can't read it backwards. It says most used stamps and junk journal stamps. So I just keep them in one of these plastic wallet things in packets like that. The little bird that you've seen in the thing is from those people there. You're meant to stamp them individually, and then they make up like a wreath, like a whole picture type thing. And this is the Christmas birds, and then you've got pine cones. What else have you got? Oh, all sorts of bits and bobs on there. The nameplate one that you saw in the book, no idea where I got that from. Again, I pick up the magazines when they've got the freebies on the front, and that was more than likely one of those. So I'm just going to pop that in there. So I just seal it together, and then I stand it in my bookcase like that, and then I can see it and grab it whenever I need it. It works. It's fine. Okay, let's make these big tags. So I went through that gardening book, as I keep mentioning, and I picked out some more pictures with the, I'd say the bluest ones in there were the delphiniums. So I'm going to make some long skinny tags. So I've realised though that although this paper is quite nice and thick, it's not quite thick enough. So I was just contemplating putting a border around it like that, and then backing it with coffee paper, because that would be 3 sheets of card then, or yeah, well, paper card. So I think I'm going to do that, but I think what I will do to get these accurate is just pop a line of glue down there. Can't remember where you see. Right. And I don't want them to be huge, so I'm going to stick them quite close to the edge. That one there, and that's a picture that I've torn into 3 basically. It looks okay. It'll be fine as a tag. That one there, don't need tons of glue, as I say. I'm going to go around and stitch these. That one there. I have got a 3rd one, but I don't think. No, I haven't got enough room. So before I do anything else, I'm going to back them with this bit of coffee dyed paper. Let's just roughly tear that. So I'm a bit naughty for stitching, but I do like the stitched effect. Which side? That side. I'll trim these up once they're sewn on. So again, I'm just going to put a bit of glue in the middle. That'll be fine. Come here. Cute. Stick that on there. And then, as I say, if you find the lid to my yoo-hoo, let me know. Right. Paper crafting, I end up with stuff everywhere. I need to put my goggles on. Right, I'll just see if I can turn you very slightly so that you can see the sewing machine. Ooh, kind of. Is that good enough? I think that'll do. Okay, this isn't going to take 2 minutes to do. So I've got it on straight stitch. I'm just going to put it onto a very small zigzag. I want it quite spaced out, so literally what I'm going to do is line it up on the edge of the floral one. Sorry, you can't really see very well, can you? I'll show you when it's done. You can stop with your needle in. I've just gone past there, so I'll lift that back out again. Needle in. Should have cut that off before I started sewing, but didn't. Oh. Right, that's that one. I'll just quickly do the other one. Stay there. Right, there we are. Let's put that back there. I'll swivel you back this way slightly. Hold tight. Okay, so just some very simple stitching around the edge. You can see it better on the back. So now I'm just going to, I could tear it with my tear ruler, but I've got my decollage scissors here, so I'm going to go fairly close because I don't want these much bigger than this because they've got to fit in those very narrow pockets. So let's try here for now and see if that is close enough. Chop that big bit off, pick you up there. So I don't want too much of this showing because they have got to fit into those pockets. I have to trim down the other side. Actually, I think I've gone too wide. I'll try it in a second. And I actually stitched on the pictures as opposed to on the blue because that way when I'm cutting this close to the blue, you can see, yep, just I'm not actually cutting the stitches, so which wouldn't be a good thing. I think I might be a bit fussy and go around underneath those actually, but right, let's get rid of all this. Come here in the bin. Right, let's see if we got the size right. I'll turn it your way. There we are. Right, so I need one in here. So as I say there, you know, you can journal on the back. I'm not going to turn them into a tag shape. I think they look quite effective like that. So what do we think? I think that's quite nice. I'm going to leave the twiddly bits there. Chop them off if you don't like them. And I needed another one here. Drop that bit. Did we get it the right size? We did. Happy days. There we are. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, happy with that. That's good. And I say you can use them as journaling spots or, you know, big tags, whatever you want. Where else did I need one? It was on. Right, that one's got one. Ah, here. Okay, so I need to find. Let's use the back of that again. Size picture do I need? It's going to have to sort of go in a bit sidewaysy, so actually that's about the right size, so I'll use that. But let's put a pretty picture on the front, shall we? Don't like that. I have have got some birds actually. Shall I use the birds? Or shall I use... No, I'll use the blue flowers. Let's stick to that. Right, there's my super awesome tearing ruler. I need it about there. I can't see straight lines, so my defective eyesight. Yeah, I'm going to cut it with the decal edge scissors because that's what I did with the last one, and that was quite good. I don't really want to... Oh, mind you, I've got to cut the edge off yet, haven't I? So let me just trim the edge off here. Let's chop that off there. Still a bit too wide. In there, and I have another bit of that paper. No, because I tied it up. Okay, but sorry, bear with me. Right, it's quite dark. It could work. It could work. Right, let's put that on there. Make an executive decision. Yeah, that'll be fine. So I don't need it as long as that. Right. I've got no room. Okay, you move there. Let's just leave a small border around it. Again, I'm not going to cut it into a tag shape. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. So let's just go over there a bit. Be fine. So I might stick out a little bit, so let's chop it just above those yellow flowers. Like I say, I do struggle with straight. Got a squint apparently. Even though I've got my glasses on, I'm still pretty bad. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, shall I tag the top? No, that's going to stay as is, and I will chop that other bit of paper into more of a tag shape, and that will go in front of that, so that will be fine. Now I've lost me a bit of... There we are. Okay, same again. That bit there actually, so let's do that. Have you found my Yoo-hoo lid yet? No? Okay. Oh, don't need to go mad with glue. Come on, concentrate. Okay. Let's fit that on there. Again, just going to go straight up the middle. Doesn't need to be stuck down very hard. As I said, it's going to be sewn, so that's fine. If you haven't got a sewing machine, I mean, you can hand stitch and it looks really nice actually. I have done hand stitching on some other bits of my journal. Not this one, but others. So yeah, don't get caught up in thinking, oh, I need to get a sewing machine. You really don't. I mean, you don't have to sew any of this stuff really. It's just a preference thing, and I prefer to stitch, so I don't want to use my sewing scissors on paper. There's my paper scissors. Never use a sewist's sewing scissors for paper. If it's a friend, you could become an ex-friend very quickly. We guard our sewing scissors with our lives. I need to get some new ones actually, because my Fiskars are quite old now. And I know you can sharpen them. I might have a go actually, say fine new. I'll give it a go. I've got a sharpener somewhere. It's a weird looking thing. Yeah, I don't concentrate back. Right, just a little bit along the bottom. Where did I start there? Okay. Sewing machine's trying to eat the paper, get off. Right. So just going to trim that up again. I'm going to go in closer. Sorry, I don't even see. I'm going to go in closer to the book page. You're a little bit long, so you're coming off. And I'm hoping it will brighten that up actually, because with leaving the roll naked as such, it's quite dark, and the envelope obviously I left brown. So yeah, it's all looking a little bit dark there actually. So I'm hoping that putting this in might brighten it up a little bit. I could ink the edges, but I'm not going to. So that's pretty nice actually. It's pretty. Quite like the pop of blue around the edge. Didn't really need to put it on, but it's giving it a little bit of stability. So that's all good. Right. Yep. That'll do for me. So that's more of a journaling card as opposed to a tag. So what I might do is do the same again, but turn this more into a tag shape. So let's do that whilst we're here. Let me get my paper trimmer out. Well, it's not a paper trimmer, it's a guillotine. That tea's going to go in a minute, isn't it? Keep an eye on it for me. Be a bit long actually, so let's have a quick look. Oh no, that's fine. I'll try and chop the corners off. That'll be fine. I've had that guillotine for so long, it's unbelievable. And it's great. I keep thinking, oh, I'll get a new one, but actually it's just going and going and going. I've never had it sharpened, and I cut tons of paper on it, so it's doing all right. It's a really old one. Come on. Get over. Matchy matchy. Thank you. That's the usual trick where you chop off one corner and then use it on the other side to do your other corner. Okay, so we've got a nice tag shape now. And I'm going to leave that plain like that. But again, I might put a bit of... I've got a bit of dodgy book paper that isn't much good. Just to give it a little bit of stiffness. I'm just going to rough cut that out. I don't want to go too far because I've got the flowers on the other side there. I can still use the flowers there, so that's good. I'll tidy that up when I've finished sewing. So right, stick. You come over here. Again, just down the middle. Don't think it matters which way around I stick it on. Let's get the top in. And then up the middle again. Going to stick it down the edge there. It was a bit wasteful, but I'm going to do it. Because there's some nice splodges there. Again, another technical word. The scissors, come here, sewing machine. Whoa, nearly off the table then. Okay, there we are. Let's get rid of that because that's going to be right in the way. Okay, I'm going to start on the side. keeping on the tag because I want to go right around the edge and trim this right up. So that's going to go off. So let's get that over there. Don't want it going off the edge of the tag, so I'm just moving it over slightly. That nearly there. I haven't sewn the cover. That's going to be my next job. I'm hopefully going to get around to making some ephemera. Gosh, I'm going to stake that on the back. Oh, it doesn't like that that machine. It was such a cheapie. Well, I say cheapie, but it was a cheaper one. I've got my all singing, all dancing one at the back here. I've lost my deckle-edge scissors now. No. There we are. Yeah, it was a cheapie that I bought it initially because I do quite a lot of free motion embroidery, and it was such a faff to keep having to change the my other machine there. I thought I'd just get a cheapie just to use for free motion. Oh, it was a waste of money, wasn't it? It doesn't. I mean, it does it, but it's not. Yeah, it keeps doing this chewing up bit, and I don't know, because it was brand new. I don't know why it does it, but why am I deckle in this tag? I wanted it to be straight. Should I leave it like that? Oh yeah, let's leave it like that. That's okay. It'll be fine. It's a tag. You can write on the back. It's, you know, it does the job. Right. I need my... Oh. Hole punch. There we are. Okay. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you rip? Probably because you're a bit soggy with glue. Okay. That's cool. That's fine. Right. Sorry. Look at the text. It drives me bonkers otherwise. I think I can say goodbye to that now. Might want to keep that actually. I pulled out some words. I was going to put them on, but again, I'm not sure that I'll do it. And I actually cut them. I don't know if you can see them. I cut them out of books. I had a couple of really old storybooks that were pretty naff actually. And I just went through each page and just started cutting out sentences, words. I mean, I've got, you know, nature of the colours, the beginnings, harmony of colours, natural objects, and creative processes. Was it Nick the Booksmith did that? Somebody did, and I thought, what a clever idea, because you've never got quite the right phrase, or you know, you might not just have them, and you know, you're cutting up old books anyway, so let's use the bits. So I don't know, I don't think I might put one on there. Should we put harmony of colours on there? If we do that, it means we've got to put other bits on, doesn't it? Yes, indeedy, it does. Where did those flowers go? There they are. Honestly, if you could see the other side of this camera, what a joke. Okay, let's put on some of these, because I've got those in the on the opposite side of here. If you can see, yeah, you can see just my bucket of tea. Yeah, so I've got those there, so actually it won't be out of place to put some of these in here. And I can stick those quite flat so that the tag will go in and out. Because you've got to think of all this stuff, you see. It's no good putting all these pretty things in and then it doesn't work, because at the end of the... I know what it was. Oh, yeah. She also had... Sorry, double squirrel moment there. Creations by Cece. She also said to do it on those really naff... scrapbook papers that you've got, you know, the ones that you look at them and you go, I'm never going to use that. So that's a good way of getting them used up. So I think I just whacked a load of paint on mine, but actually I don't know. I don't want to use those. Right, stop. I don't want to use them. You stay there. That's fine. I've got a bit of text coming through on here because this was a book page before I gel printed on it, and I think it was a wine book that I'd got, so I'm just going to stick that on there. Yeah, that'll be fine. That's fine there. Still frustrated as to where my lid's gone. I expect the cat's had it somewhere because she sneaks in here. I'm just going to stick that straight on the bottom ish. A Susie straight. There we are. Okay, so that can go in there with that journaling card. Oh, I'll just put a bit of fabric on there. And that really is it. I'll flick through, make sure everything's in the place where I want it. I don't think there's any more missing tags. No, that little one's inside there. Oh God, there's one there. Okay, I'll make that off screen, and then I might show you sewing the cover actually, because that can be a short video and I can upload that one. So I'm going to sign off now because it's 41 minutes already and I've been rattling on. So I'll do that. I'll make a tag for there. I'll give you a final flick through, sew the cover, and then show you doing the pamphlet stitch. I remembered it. So that's the one where you stab 3 holes and do the lacing, but I will show you that in a moment. Okay. All right. I was going to use some of that, but I'm not going to now. So yeah, happy with that. It looks nice. It's come out really jolly. So we'll do a final flick through. So I'll show you me sewing the cover, a final flick through of the journal, and then the actual pamphlet stitching it in. So I nearly forgot it again then. Okay, I'm going to call it quits because otherwise it'll take forever to upload. Okay. Thank you very much. See you in a bit.